Our story begins on the April 18, 1998 when Disney Channel had celebrated its 15th anniversary over in America. In its first hour, the Toon Disney Channel premiered its first cartoon, The Sorcerer's Apprentice, from the film Fantasia. In fact, Toon Disney was meant to be a rival between Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon, the two big channels of that time. As for programming, it consisted prominently of countless animated shows that were previously broadcast on different stations, including the Disney Channel, as well as some back catalogue stuff that wasn't from Disney. Kids fell in love with its shows and cartoons, especially its continuous 24-hour showing on cable and being ad-free, and at that point in its first few years, Toon Disney was watched by a staggering amount of 20 million viewers. Almost 2 years later, Toon Disney then became available in Europe, the location first being in Britain. As you can tell, the branding was quite different from its American counterpart. This is because their identity was meant to match the international look of Disney Channel of that time. After the formation of the UK version of the channel, it then expanded into localized versions for different countries, the latter being France, Germany, Italy, Spain, and so on and so forth. The difference between the US and the international branding of the station was that the American used a mix of CGI and live action that was adapted through Disney Channel's original logo of that time. As to the international version, it didn't add any animated characters at all, it just kept it simple. In 2003, Disney Channel along with their sister stations rebranded their look. If you grew up watching Toon Disney back in the day over in Europe, you'll probably remember this following guidance. If that laugh truly refreshed your memory, you could see their branding was much more cartoony than their last on their identity. The reason why the European branding was different was obviously because of its target audience being for preteens and for a much younger audience. On the other hand, the American version of Toon Disney had awesome music for promos. Heck, it even had Jason Marsden announcing as Max during the end credits. And their continuity was pretty upbeat, therefore it didn't contain any obnoxious sound effects throughout their adverts. But enough of that branding talk, we'll be going straight to their programs. As discussed earlier, the programming that Toon Disney had was majorly a mixed bag of shows which had its first premiere on the Disney Afternoon block. Of course, there were reruns and specials that occasionally featured the old theatrical classic shorts. Let's dive in straight into the programs' names that made Toon Disney what it is renowned for. The Weekenders. The Weekenders is one of those shows that was truly different from the other ones, probably because of its unique animation style and plot. This series itself centered a group of friends explaining their joys of a perfect weekend. We have Tino, the leader of the pack, Tish, who's a literature and art obsessed girl and doesn't forget her foreign roots, Carver, coolest personality with admiration of shoes, and Law, the competitive Scottish American. Weekenders was notable for breaking the fourth wall and focuses much more to our protagonists rather than their usual everyday academic life. Since the whole story is set after school, each episode literally ended with the end phrase that Tina was known for.
Later days.
As a matter of fact, The Weekenders actually was created by Doug Landale, notable for creating Dave the Barbarian for both Disney Channel and Toon Disney, and would soon collaborate with Jorge Gutierrez and Guillermo del Toro in The Book of Life, one of the films that got nominated for a Golden Globe for Best Animated Feature Film. The Weekenders was very underrated, and I don't think there's another show that can come close to it. It was done at a time when live-action, kid-friendly anime dubs were taking over Saturday morning cartoons. It came out in 2000 and it ran for 4 seasons. After the cancellation, The Weekenders gained a cult following, and I think with the power of the internet, people are discovering even more of these obscure shows. That's it for a sneak peek for the latest Channelography. If you like it, click on our bottle icon to subscribe with us today. Don't forget that Channelography episode 1 is available to watch on YouTube. I shall see you in the full video.